Hey, whoa, hey, hello, welcome to the show. It's me, JP. It's time for JP's product pick of the week here on Thanksgiving week in the US. This will be my last show this week. I won't be doing a workshop show on Thursday because of all the Thanksgiving festivities. But I'm so happy you could join me here today for this, a product pick where we've got a couple products actually and a very, very nice discount. In fact, I'm going to refresh my browser over here to double check. Wow, yes. Oh my gosh. This is a good one. I think you'll like these, depending on what you like. What is it? What do we do? Well, I've got a product. It's actually two of them, two related products, two variations on a product. I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo. I'm going to show you a little new video about it. I'm going to point you at a place to go check it out. In fact, I'll do that right now. And if you buy the product pick of the week this week, today, before the show is over, you'll get it for 50% off. So no coupon code is required. We just take the price and slash it in half. Thank you to the new product team for taking care of all that on the back end, including stashing 100 of each of them before the show so that we have some for you when you show up here. So let's do this. Without further ado, I'm going to show you the new video when Lamore first posted this, so please check it out.
Two versions of our ItsyBitsy ESP32. We've designed this many years ago, but during the part shortage, we weren't able to get it out the door. But now it lives again, clearing out my long to-do list. So this is an ItsyBitsy size board. So it's got 20 GPIO and power pins. Micro USB because I want it to be compatible with the other ItsyBitsy boards. In case you have an enclosure, you can swap out whichever one you want. I don't want to have, maybe I'll make a version with USB-C later. On the bottom, it has a USB-C, USB to serial converter chip, and some markings and alternate battery input if desired. We also have a version with a WFL connector designed by Hiroshi, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's a STEMMA QT port on the top, NeoPixel on both of them, user button, reset button, and then auto reset circuitry. This is really great for very small IoT projects that need ESP32, which has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth Classic, Bluetooth Low Energy. We support it in CircuitPython, has great Arduino support. There's also MicroPython support and a lot of other chips as well. The ESP32 is like a very standardized chip.
Hey, hello, and welcome to the show. It's me, JP, and it's time for JP's product pick of the week, and this time I mean it. The YouTube stream wasn't running, and now I think all streams are running, hopefully. So sorry for the confusion if you're on Twitch. I think that one probably auto-started and maybe a couple others, but YouTube, I needed to give it a little goose, and now it's off and running. So thanks for stopping by. This is my product pick of the week show for Thanksgiving week 2024. I won't be doing a show on Thursday, so this is my last show this week. But I appreciate you coming out to check it out. Check out the new product pick. So what's going to happen? I've got a new product pick, and actually it's a two products in one. We have a little variation on them, but one of them is particularly exciting, and I want to show you that one. I'll give you a little demo. I'll show you a new video from Lady Ada. I will give you 50% off on the product thanks to all the help from the product team. The new products team at Adafruit have stashed away 100 of each so that we have plenty for people. Cut the price in half, and those are ready to roll. So if you go to this URL right here, QR code or URL, you will be able to pick up this week's product pick for half off. There's no coupon code required. You just go and pick it up, throw it in your cart, buy it before the show is over. Soon after the show is over, we'll bring the price back up. Let's get to it. So without any further ado, Lady Ada, show us what this is.
Two versions of our ItsyBitsy ESP32. We've designed this many years ago, but during the part shortage, we weren't able to get it out the door. But now it lives again, clearing out my long to-do list. So this is an ItsyBitsy size board. So it's got 20 GPIO and power pins, micro USB because I want it to be compatible with the other ItsyBitsy boards. In case you have an enclosure, you can swap out whichever one you want. I don't want to have. Maybe I'll make a version with USB-C later. On the bottom, it has a USB to serial converter chip, and some markings and alternate battery input if desired. We also have a version with a WFL connector designed by Hiroshi, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's a STEMMA QT port on the top, NeoPixel on both of them, user button, reset button, and then auto reset circuitry. So this is really great for very small IoT projects that need ESP32, which has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth Classic, Bluetooth Low Energy. We support it in CircuitPython, has great Arduino support. There's also MicroPython support and a lot of other chips as well. The ESP32 is like a very standardized chip. What's really nice about this board is it's got very good low power capability. I just tested it before the show. 10 microamps in deep sleep, which is like incredibly low. It's as low as the ESP32 can get. So by kind of designing this in a nice way, using a good regulator on it, you could definitely use this for very low power IoT projects or any project where you just need more pins than a cutie pie, but you don't need as many as a feather. And there's also one pin that's shifted up to 5 volts, so great for NeoPixel projects.
All right. And then this is red.
And the bottom is the same, just this one has a WFL connector.
Yes, this is my product pick of the week this week. It is the ItsyBitsy ESP32 with WFL connector for external antenna. And we've also got the PCB antenna version of it in case you don't need such a good antenna on there. This will work even better. So what is this? Let me switch the camera view here for a second, and we can talk about it while we look at a little setup I've got. There you are. Put that right there. Okay, so what is this? This is an ItsyBitsy, so you get this nice little form factor, 20 GPIO pins on it. Pretty much all of them can do PWM. We have, I think it's 6 analog to digital converters on it. Is that right? 8. 3 analog input only. 13 of them are 12-bit analog inputs, loads and loads. There are dual 8-bit analog DACs for going out with stereo audio, incredible. You can use 8 of these pins for capacitive touch. And I believe we have the one 5-volt pin so that you can do legit 5-volt out as far as logic goes to NeoPixels without any level shifting necessary. These are great, really great board, really tiny, but lots and lots of features. This is with the ESP32 module. It's kind of like the revised version of it. This is called, I think, the Pico V3, Pico Eco V3. Sometimes I think it's also called the ESP32 V2, but it is a dual-core 240 megahertz Tensilica processor. It has 8 megs of flash, 2 megs of PS RAM. It can do Wi-Fi, it can do Bluetooth Classic, and it can do BLE, so really versatile for all kinds of projects. It has a STEMMA QT port on there, so it's pretty modern. You can plug in sensors to it, which is great for any type of IoT stuff, but also inputs, anything that we have a little breakout board that you can plug into I2C, you can plug into there. These will run CircuitPython, they'll run Arduino, they will run Whippersnapper, which is actually what I've got on some demos I'm going to show you today. Whippersnapper is great because it is essentially a no-code solution for using this type of board in IoT applications, so you can send sensor data to a Wi-Fi router in your workshop or basement or wherever you are, and then get that up to a dashboard on Adafruit I/O so you can use the data for pretty much anything you want. These are also great for things like WLED, if you're doing wireless LED projects, really excellent for that. And what can I say? Let's take a look at a little demo I've got here. So I'm gonna switch over to this view right here. Let me pull that off of there, and I'm just gonna grab a Chrome window that has my Adafruit dashboard on it there. Where'd you go? Are you it? Sure, yes, that's it. Okay. So what you can see right now, this is not plugged in, no power. And on my dashboard, you can see I have a bunch of boards that I've used on the dashboard. In fact, right now, all of them are offline. So what I'm going to do is give this one power. Let's, I'll give it just battery power. So this is a USB battery pack I'm going to plug in here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to plug in a temperature sensor over I2C. So let's plug this in just like so. Hopefully you can see that. So now you can see I've got a little breakout board. Which one is this? The BME 680. And I'm going to give this power just from a USB battery bank. You see that little light lights up on there. And now with this, in fact, I'll hold it up to prove to you. This is not plugged into the computer. I've just got ItsyBitsy. I've got the sensor there, temperature sensor. I've got my little antenna. I've got a little battery pack. So what you'll have noticed is over on my Adafruit I/O devices section, this just popped up, Adafruit ItsyBitsy ESP32. It is online. And click that little info there, and this will tell you the last time you plugged it in and unplugged it. So previously I had it plugged in. Yesterday I had it bouncing around on a mesh network where it kept disconnecting and reconnecting. So there's actually some work being done to figure that out. It was not playing well with my mesh network. But in here in the workshop, I just have a normal Wi-Fi access point, so it'll stay connected nicely. And if I go check out a little dashboard, you'll see here it says connection is to the ItsyBitsy ESP32. And right now I have it set up so that every 30 seconds it's going to query the temperature, pressure, humidity, VOC sensor that's in the BME and send that up to my dashboard. So I have this graph here. It shows you all of the data coming from the board there. You can see it just got some new info just came in. We can also plug this in to the computer and read that directly over serial if you just want to see faster updates on it. But this is the most likely way I'll use it, is in a wireless setting, probably with a big power brick or solar or something like that plugged in, depending on how you're using it, so that you don't have to worry about the thing. It'll just maintain power. So that is able to, thanks to this nice big antenna, get real far away. I can walk all over the workshop, no problem. We can get far away because we're talking to the Wi-Fi access point and using that nice antenna. In fact, what I'll do, let me plug, I think if I plug this in to my computer, I'm going to unplug it here, you'll see it come disconnected from Adafruit I/O. In my serial output, we'll see the signal strength. So let's grab a USB cable. And you could also do all this kind of stuff with a little OLED display plugged in over I2C if you want, or get fancier than that. It depends on your needs. Okay, so that's a USB cable providing power, but it's also something I can look at in a serial port. So I'm going to grab a serial monitor. Let me plop that on here real quick. Let's do a new screen capture. Go pick that window. And that will be Sublime Text. There you go. Move that over. So what I'll use here is just, I'll use Disco Tool. I'll show you what I've got plugged in. So USB single serial is what this one's going to show up as. This uses, it doesn't have USB on the chip, but it uses a WCH converter to go serial to USB. So I can do Disco Tool and just name that one. Just take a part of its name. And now, if we just give it a second or restart it, how about I'll hit reset on there. Should see the text come pouring through. Maybe. If not, I'll pop it up in Arduino. Let me see if I can get Arduino to play better with it. Let's see. Sure. Maybe. I'll wait till this works before I pop it up on screen. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Let me just bring this new Arduino window up. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what you can see here, this is the serial output from the chip. So every time it updates, it tells us the signal strength. So this is showing up right now with a Wi-Fi RSSI of -41 dB, which is a nice strong signal. And it's also listing out the sensor reads. So this is a sensor over I2C address 77. And so it says sensor OX77, ambient temperature, it's 76 degrees, humidity 48, pressure, gas resistance. Those are all configured inside of the Adafruit I/O. So if I hide these for a second and come back to the Chrome window on the board here, you can see it's configured to show some, but not all, of the possible bits of data that come off that sensor. So we can go and let's see. Oh, I've got that sensor. Why is it not showing? I think is that just what I'm selecting in my dashboard? 1 second. Let's do, yeah, let's edit one of these. Edit block. So this is the ItsyBitsy. I just have this one showing humidity and temperature, but we could add to it other data that's coming across the feed. So we'll update that block, and now you can see it's a whole bunch of, has 4 different pieces of data on there, and their little color codings. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little better. Save that layout. So that's all info that you can get depending on the sensor that you have running on these. But these are really nice. They are, like I said, available both with the antenna built in or this external antenna. They do have, I'm not using it in this example, but they do have a onboard NeoPixel as well, so you can use that for all kinds of status stuff. They also have a pin 13 regular red LED, so you can blink that just to get status updates. And very simple to set up using Whippersnapper. You can also program it in Arduino, also program it in CircuitPython. Great question in the chat. Avi Schwartz asked, does the WFL version come with the antenna or only the connector? It just has an onboard connector. You can see there. And then you snap into it an adapter that will go to whatever type of wire you want to use, whatever type of antenna, I should say, you want to use. In this case, I am, go to this other window. I'm using this board right here, which has that connector with this little 2.4 gigahertz dipole swivel antenna, and it has the RP SMA connector, a little screw connector in there. This is the where'd it go? this is the adapter I'm using. So this goes from the little WFL snap there, click on there, to that screw-in connector that we can plug into the dipole antenna. This, you may have seen, this is a nice, simple, inexpensive option, $2.50. You can pick up one of these. It allows you to just relocate a small PCB antenna a little further from your case. So if you've got a whole bunch of stuff, maybe it's in a metal case, waterproof, who knows, and you just want to get a simple antenna a little further away, you can use this or position it a little bit. So that's an option, sort of splits the difference between the PCB antenna and the dipole antenna. This right here is the version that just uses the built-in PCB antenna, and you can see there it's just these little traces there. Those little traces you see under the solder mask there. And here is a lovely Learn guide that Liz Clark put together. This works, shows you both versions of the board there, how to set those up and how to run them in CircuitPython, Arduino, and Whippersnapper, as well as some other support things like factory reset and some of the downloads for the board package, the chip data sheet for the serial to USB connector, some PCB CAD files, 3D models. This is actually kind of a nice segue to, let me show you, if I zoom out a little bit, this is a nice little 3D printable case that the Ruiz brothers put together, and you can, I won't tuck it in all neatly, but you can screw in your antenna on here, kind of tuck those wires away. If you tighten that up on there, you can then have a nice little neat case there, and there's a little bracket for strapping that down there with a couple screws, gives you live hinges to access the buttons, and then there's a case top that has some standard sized slots in it to hook on some I2C sensors, a couple of them up and down, and then you've got a nice neat little package there you can use as well. In the Learn guides, you can also check out some projects that have been done with this board. For this one, I decided I didn't need a big antenna poking out of my PlayStation controller, but it's the PCB antenna version of it. So I built a Bluetooth controller with an original PlayStation controller and that board in there, as well as a little charging slot, battery, and a little power adapter. So that's a project I did. There's a few others that you can check out in the Learn guides. If you look up ItsyBitsy ESP32. Maybe. There we go. You can look through here for some other IoT projects and others that have been done using that very board. I think there's some that aren't showing up, in fact. So there's more than that, and some of them you'll see linked in the product page here, including the ItsyBitsy case that I printed out right there, and some nice little suggested uses there. So let's see, what else is there? I think that covers it, yeah. Let's see, Fuzzy Bear asks, I have had problems getting these 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi devices to connect to my Ubiquiti and other brands to Wi-Fi network that has both, I think you meant 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. The Ubiquiti stuff will try to switch a device to 5 gigahertz, says Todd. Yeah, that's a good question. Like I said, I was having problems with, and I've had these for years, with my mesh network, which has a couple of satellites and a main base station, and sometimes these little projects kind of disconnect and reconnect when they see the other same named base stations show up. I was talking with Tyeth and Brent yesterday from the Adafruit.io team, and they are looking into it. Brent was going to pick up a mesh router so he could see if there's any easy fixes to that. I wonder if this is related to that. HTX Viper says try WPA instead of WPA2. If you can get a dedicated, simple little router, inexpensive, used one that's not trying to be fancy, is not trying to be mesh, turn off the 5 gigahertz. That's another option maybe. But Yeah, that's what I can say about that. All right, let's see. I don't think there's any other questions, so we'll wrap it up right there. And I'll go ahead and unplug this so that we can finish that out. So that right there is my product pick of the week this week. It is the ItsyBitsy ESP32 with WFL antenna connector. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park. This has been JP's product pick of the week, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.